Baker Street. Please put your hands together for the very amazing Des Bishop!
Thank you. This is great. I came to Ireland 1990 before the famine ended in 1992. As an American, it was hard being an American living in Ireland. I went to St. Peter's College, Wexford. They called me the Yank, which I thought was a bit heavy because I didn't even have a nickname. I had a title with the fucking "the" in front of my name. I was like, go get the Yank. To dig a hole. But I wasn't welcome here at first as an American. People got resentments against America. I don't know why. I don't know where, but did to the rest of the world. People got resentments. Especially old Irishmen. They used to give me such a hard time. This old guy came up to me one time. He was so old, his phone number was 2. That's how blaming me for everything. He came up to me one day. He says, "Hey, Des, we preferred Marathon to Snickers, you bastard." Didn't even know what he was on about. You guys gotta get over that shit. It was hard, man. It was lonely. Young American in boarding school in Wexford, from New York. I mean, that's a culture shock. Lonely in boarding school. And I remember those first few Thanksgivings. Because Irish people couldn't give a shit about Thanksgiving. 4th of July too, nobody gave a shit. And I'd be all homesick on Thanksgiving, and I'd be like, "Hey man, it's Thanksgiving." And I'd be like, "What the fuck is it? Is it Christmas or what?" "No man, it's not Christmas." "You eat turkey, don't you?" "It's fucking Christmas, buddy." You're confusing me. You can't identify with that pain, the Irish diaspora. I mean, all the Irish people have experienced the loneliness of being away from home, but it's not like St. Patrick's Day is your most homesick day, because you could go anywhere in the world on March the 17th, and everyone would be like, "Wah! It's St. Patrick's Day! Let's get pissed." You could go anywhere, man. You go in New York, there's loads of Chinese, Puerto Ricans all getting pissed, like, "We're Irish today." You could go to fucking Thailand, for God's sake, like, "Aha! Happy St. Patrick's Day to you, Paddy! Call us a tattoo, Paddy. Aha! It's very good, Paddy. Ah! You want it. Not in Ireland on the 4th of July. I used to see my friends. I'd be like, "Yeah, it's the 4th of July." They'd be like, "Oh, Jesus, 8 days to the 12th. Thanks for reminding me." Batting down the hatches. So it was hard. Still to this day, I get people, every time drunken people that hear my voice, "You're American." Nah, I don't need to be told, bro. Thanks for reminding me of who I am. But all Americans are tick. I used to get that all the time when I came to all Americans are tick. What the fuck is tick? I didn't know what it was. I thought it was an insect that gives you Lyme disease. That's what I thought tick was. I was like, what did I do? Am I sucking the blood out of you? What? All Americans are tick. Then I moved to Dublin. All Americans are tick as shite. Shite. Where's the fucking tea? Where'd you hide the teas in Dublin? Where's the tea and shite? Right? Give us a light. Where's the fucking tea? I said to him, "Where's the tea, bro?" He said, "What?" Oh, no. Yeah, man. The country's changing every day. I've been here for 13 years now. I've seen some beautiful changes. I came here, you were all broke as fuck. Fucking Americans with your fucking money. They're all jealous of me because I have things. And it was better. Because Irish people are happiest when they're miserable. It was better when everyone had fuck all because there was no jealousy. And I can prove that you're happiest when you're miserable because you never meet an Irish person happier than walking at a mass on a Sunday. How are you, Bobby? I am fucking dying. Great night last night. I feel like shit. I love it. Hate myself, to be honest. It's great. I think Irish people were happiest during the famine. You walk up to your friend, how are you, Shamey? Actually, you know yourself? Fucking starved. Me too. Let's go eat some nettles. Come on, buddy. Those pussies going off to America. We'll fucking stick it out. But it's changed, man. Whole thing's changed. It's gotten terrible. Booze problem. Everyone's like, ooh, all of a sudden we have a problem with booze. Oh, now it's a problem. The only thing that's changed is it's a problem now. The booze hasn't fucking changed at all. Actually, I didn't realize that this was the problem. You got an extra hour of drinking 2 years ago. I remember thinking, Jesus, if ever there was a country that didn't need another fucking... From what I could see, everyone was on the floor at 2 in the morning anyway. Then it was like, yeah! An extra hour! Yeah! Now I can actually die! Never have to wake up in the morning again. You know there's an American on stage when he takes the mic away and there's no fucking difference. Oh yeah, fuck the Yankees. Yeah. And that's the thing. A lot of anti-Americanism in Ireland. Some of it I agree with, some of it I don't. I don't want to get into just like going at Bush because it's actually, like, in my opinion, too easy. But the fact is that, in my opinion, it's all about fear. Bush, Cheney, they're all preaching fear all the time, preaching fear. These Christian right, pro-life, Bible-bashing motherfuckers talking about fear. Even though in the Bible that they so believe in, it says fear is like a faith. So I said, where's the fucking faith, George? Talking about fear of anthrax, fear of chemicals, fear of Osama bin Laden, fear of terrorism, fear. I ain't gonna be afraid of fucking anthrax. I ain't gonna be terrorized by a speed metal band from the 1980s, ladies and gentlemen. It ain't happening. It ain't scaring me. Chemicals ain't scaring me either. I've been taking chemicals for years. People said it was going to kill me. And I'm fine. Those crop dusters full of shit come over my backyard. You see me out there like this. Listening to the Chemical Brothers, not giving a fuck. We're supposed to be afraid of anthrax. Colin Powell walked into the bloody UN with a vial. I was like, this is the anthrax, man. This is the anthrax. This is what we need to be afraid of. Well, put the fucking thing away. Looked like a vial of crack. George was looking at it going, oh, those were the days. So that shit to my daughter. Yeah. Fear. A culture of fear keep us all worried, watching Sky News all the time. Yeah. People in America are saying, that Osama bin Laden, how could he be so sick? How could he be so sick and do these things? I know I have an American accent. I don't actually have to put one on. I just like to change it for effect. You want to know why bin Laden is so sick? I'll tell you why he's so sick. He's the middle child of 52 children, ladies and gentlemen. If ever there was a man with middle child syndrome, I think it's Osama bin fucking Laden. No! What do I gotta do to get some attention in this family? I'll break something, I swear! And you'll notice me! Love me! He's just looking for love in all the wrong places. That's what's wrong with him. You want to sort bin Laden out? Put his ass on Oprah. Dr. Phil will sort his shit right out. A couple of hands raised from the back. Excuse me, bin Laden, mama. I raised my motherfucking children in the ghetto, all right? I raised my children in the ghetto, and all the boys around the neighborhood were dealing crack. My children never were dealing crack. You know why? Because I smack them in the motherfucking ass. That's why they never deal crack. Just because everyone in Arab world is going around blowing shit up doesn't mean you gotta go around blowing shit up. Oprah's there. You know, those applauses break anybody. Bin Laden like, all right, I'm broken, I'm sorry. And Dr. Phil will write a book about it, make millions. Call it The Real Osama. Unleash the Osama within. Oprah would sort it all out. She'd say, actually, you know what the problem is? You eat too many carbohydrates. That's it. More proteins. In a way, after September 11th, it was better to be in Ireland because the European reaction was so different. In America, it was like, someone's gonna pay. It could have been Sweden, they didn't give a fuck. Somebody was gonna pay. You know, they were angry, and they weren't let to feel the hurt because they were drilled in with that anger straight away. So it was like, oh no, don't worry about the hurt. That might actually solve something. We're just gonna react. And in Europe, they were like, actually, I think you kind of deserved it, but we don't want to talk about it right now. And of course, then there was the Irish reaction, which went a little something like, oh, fuck. Thousands of people are dead, what are we gonna do? Asher, we'll have a day off. We'll have a day off. That's it. National Day of Mourning, my ass. You had it on a Friday. How convenient for our tragedy to happen so you could have an extra day off on a Friday. Because I've seen the way you mourn in this country. Because I was out in Dublin on that Thursday night and I was like, no work tomorrow! Pissed out of their fucking head because there's nothing Irish people like better than a funeral. Oh, man. So, basically what I'm trying to say is, the world is an unsafe place. And as much as I'm having a good time, this is the reality of what I think is going down. But the church lost its power. You know, 80s, 90s, people just said, fuck, the church ain't working for me. And there was this emptiness, this spiritual void left in the Irish population. But just in time, the Celtic Tiger came in. And people started believing in the spirituality of the economy, buying things and sucking on cappuccinos and living that life that made everyone go, look at me, I'm something special. And they believed in it. And they kept filling it up and filling it up. But one day, it's going to be gone. And what are you going to do when the emptiness is sucked back into your life in a vacuum of pain and hurt and all the repression that you haven't really dealt with yet? But we'll get back to that. Comes shouting out at you and say, you're a bad boy, you're a dirty boy, you're a bad boy. What are you gonna do when that pain starts kicking in and you're left with that hole inside yourself? Because I hate to tell you, but there ain't no Irish self-help book. There's American self-help books, but they spell color without a U, so you just can't identify with them. So just for the Irish people in the crowd, I've gone about writing the first Irish self-help book. So Irish people can take the book off the shelf, look at the cover and say, yeah, I can identify with that. And it's going to be called Asher Fuck It. It's going to be huge. Because it's a changing country. People are finding it hard to deal with. I was in a taxi the other day. Sunday morning, I was on my way to Kung Fu. I'm shit, but hey, it sounds cool, you know what I'm saying? I'm like... In the taxi the other day, so there's these two African women all dressed up in like the full-on African garb, probably on their way to one of these crazy Christian masses they do, which are pretty wild. And so I said, Jesus, look at that. And he goes, wait, no, don't talk to me. I realized we weren't on the same page. So he came out with a couple of comments that I thought were leaning on the racist side. And I don't recommend saying this to a taxi driver if you want to enjoy the rest of your journey, but I said, sorry, bro, you're a racist. And he said, no. I'm not racist. I have no problem with black people. It's the Nigerians. That's fuckers. Just so happens most of the black people in this country are from Nigeria, which is quite convenient for you, Mr. Taxi Driver, man. Yeah, man, it's so funny, because when I came here first, you know, when I came here first, all the boys down in Wexford used to give me such a hard time. One of the things they used to give me about America was, oh, what's going on? What's going on in America? They're all fucking racist over there. What you did to the blacks was fucking terrible. What you did to the American Indian, that's not fucking right. They made cool posters. Now the same guys come up to me like, Jesus, Des, we're fucking sorry. Like, we never knew Irish people were racist because there was no black people here. I could have told you, I remember working with Irish guys on the building sites in New York, you know, during the summer. And the Irish guys would be there, you know, walking away on the site, 90-degree heat, no shirt in the back, sun beating down, skin bubbling away, bro. So you want to put some sunblock on that, bro? You think I'm fucking gay, do you? Sunblock is for women! And he turned to his friend, another Irish fellow, and he says, do you know what's this problem with this country, Paddy? Fucking immigrants. So now you have the racism here and everyone's giving out a fucking black people coming over here taking all the shit jobs. Fucking Chinese people serving me fucking fast food. Well, who's gonna fucking serve it, bro? Fucking invisible man. Thanks a lot. Fucking bastards. In Clare, they publicly protested against black people coming into their town. Into a town in Clare. And their argument was, we don't want the black people coming in here. They'll be putting babies in the women. And I remember thinking to myself at the time, if ever there was a part of the world that needed a bit of stirring up in the fucking gene pool, it's these small towns in the west of Ireland. I say put some black soul up in that motherfucker and stir that gene pool up for fuck's sake. They got great traditional music down there. Put the fucking tribal in there and God knows what we'll get. Have a better fucking All-Ireland team anyway, that's for sure. When fucking Obu fucking turns out for Clare. Obu on the ball, fucking. The first man to put a ball over the bar with the fucking spear. The fucking hurley, fucking throw it over, knocks it over the bar, lovely. Skills you never knew imaginable. And Danny won on Johnny Cockroach on the ball. He passes over to Martin Clancy. Martin Clancy passes it back to Anjulu Julu. Anjulu Julu takes it up. His father never played Gaelic football in his life. In fact, he had nothing. He didn't eat for the first 20 years of his life, but now look at his son fucking going up the line. Big sweaty black head and everything. He goes, fucking great day for Ireland. Fucking great day. Fucking great day for Ireland. That's the Ireland I see, man. In Ireland, where you go to a nightclub and people are on the dance floor before 1:30. How good about Ireland with black men and white women fucking on the dance floor going, lovely, lovely. But I'm used to Ireland now, and I'll share with you my favorite culture shock of all, coming to this country. I came August 26, 1990. My cousins from Waterford picked me up at Shannon Airport. We drove south through Limerick, and I experienced... I've been doing a long set because I sense a bit of drunkenness coming into the crowd. So I got to my cousin's house in Waterford and I experienced the biggest culture shock of my young life. So I said to my cousin, I'd like to have a shower. Which was a bit of a culture shock for him, I might add. And he said, oh, you're gonna have to turn on the immersion. I said, the immersion, what the fuck is that? Fucking Americans. I have to heat the water. I said, I have to heat the water myself? I just want to have a shower, for God's sake. I had a picture of myself on a bicycle making the water hot. Is it hot yet, man? Because I'm really sweating. I really need a shower. I got freaked out. It sounds like something that happens at the end of Batman and Robin. Will this be the end of Batman as he gets dipped slowly into the immersion? Tune in next week when the water is actually hot enough for him to have a fucking shower. Because in America, we just have hot water. It's just there. I don't know where we get it. We probably exploit it from some third world country, but it's just fucking there. So then I had my shower, my drip, drip, no power Irish shower. Irish showers have such bad water pressure. I was doing a gig in New York recently, and this Irish guy came up to me after the gig and he was like, Jesus, you're not joking. The first time I had a shower in America, I thought there was going to be holes in my body. So I had my shower and I was leaving the house about 4 hours later. My cousin says, oh, did you turn off the immersion? And I thought, man, you got to turn it off as well? There's less commitment in a relationship, for God's sake. So I said, no, I didn't turn it off. And he says, you forgot to turn off the immersion! And he ran to the hot press, which was another total culture shock for me, because I didn't even know what a press was at that stage, let alone a hot press. So it turns out in Ireland, a press is a cabinet. So you have a hot cabinet here. And I didn't know then, but I know now why you have a hot cabinet, is because heat is so precious here, you lock it away in a closet. The greatest sin you could ever do in this country is open a door in the room where the heating is on. Jesus, don't open that door! There's heat in there! That fucking heat is always trying to escape! I'll put that heat in the fucking H-block! He was convinced heating's sole mission in life was to get out of the room it was in, to put itself back into the cold, to completely cancel itself out. But most of the time, you couldn't go into the room where the heating was on, not because the heating might get out, but because my aunt was drying clothes on the rats. Don't go into that room, I'm drying clothes on the rats, you'll get pneumonia. The moisture gets in the air, gets into your lungs. I got news for you, Auntie. There's moisture everywhere. But you see, she was a middle-aged Irish woman. And the pleasurable days of marriage were gone. And the only pleasure she had in life was getting clothes dry. Because God knows in Ireland, that's a fucking challenge. It was as if the drier her clothes got, the wetter she got. She would wait. She would wait for the driest days of the year to meet as many people as she could, go into town, meet as many people as she could, and say, oh, great try-out today. Great try-out today, isn't it? Oh, great try-out today. I made the mistake one day, I says, why don't you get a tumble dryer? A tumble dryer! Are you mad? Do you know how many units of electricity a tumble dryer uses? He ran to the hot press. And he opened up the door and he says, no! You had it on Bath as well! You drained me of everything, but yet given me so much. Peace and love. Don't forget about the International.